Even in broad daylight, the forest of sighs was dark. The needles of giant evergreens created a thick and ominous cover of danger. One look, and the boy quickly realized that the name of the forest was not given on a whim, but rather was inspired by the few rare villagers who had come out of this threatening place alive. Here, the wind whispered and rushed between the trees, but the whisper sounded more like a lament, a cry mourning the loss of life's pleasures and passions. With each step the young boy took, the melancholy chant became more unbearable. Disoriented and exhausted by this distressing music, the ferret soon fell in the snow, unable to move another inch. He was feeling hopeless and lost when all of a sudden he heard the sound of a waterfall mixed with laughter. A sound which seemed gentle yet wicked at the same time. Guided by the strange song, the boy gathered his strength and set off again. He soon arrived at the banks of a small river, whose rushing currents prevented ice from forming even in the coldest of winters. The young villager stopped in his tracks, almost paralyzed by the image that appeared before him. Bathing itself in the middle of the river was the most magnificent yet terrifying being he had ever encountered in his entire life. An exquisite creature that appeared to be a beautiful woman. Yet her skin was as blue as the bluest sky, and her hair was an immaculate shade of white. She called to him, her voice seeming to emanate from all directions.
Well, hello, ferret. What are you doing so far from home?
She laughed wickedly, and then continued in an even more menacing tone.
Don't you know you are on the land of nymphs without having been invited? My sister and I do not tolerate intruders.
Shaking in his boots, the ferret nearly started to cry. But just then he remembered his grandmother's words of advice and the objects in his bag. The perfume in the small blue vial had seemed to bring back hope to the lumberjack, he thought. Cheered by the knowledge that these precious items would again help him, he pulled himself together and said to the intimidating creature,
"Pardon me, majestic nymph. I lost my way because I was mesmerized by your divine song. I am traveling to a part of the Forest of Sighs which, according to what I've been told, contains an enchanted book. Perhaps you know the way to it."
I know the path you must take to get there. For go, my sister lives in that part of the forest,
declared the nymph haughtily.
But why should I divulge this secret to you, ferret? What do you have to offer me in exchange? Beware, if you have nothing to offer me, or if what you have does not please me, I will keep you here forever, locked in a prison of ice, condemned to listen to the lament of the wind.
The nymph resumed her Machiavellian laugh with renewed vigor, making the child shudder with fear. But having faith in his grandmother's wisdom, he untied the bag once more and withdrew the long, evergreen-shaped glass bottle. With nimble fingers, he opened it.
"Here is my powerful gift, nymph,"
he said, carrying his precious cargo at arm's length above the water of the river.
"May its magic awaken your heart and senses to a happiness long forgotten."
With these words, the ferret closed his eyes and poured 3 drops of the pink liquid into the surging whirlpool.
By all the sylvan spirits, what an exhilarating fragrance, said the nymph. I smell the soft, fruity aroma of grapefruit and guava. What a marvelous feeling! Why, I haven't felt this invigorated for centuries.
Curious about the nymph's sudden change of attitude and wanting to confirm that the aroma was winning over his own senses as well, the child opened his eyes. There before him he saw the nymph, lazily swimming in exquisitely fragrant, bubbly water. Her once white hair now seemed to abound with gold and copper highlights. Her skin, which had been a glacial shade of blue, had become a delightful and delicate pink. The same pink that comes to life on the horizon when the first rays of the rising sun swim into the sky. And all around them the snow melted, leaving in its place a green carpet of wild grass.
Ferret,
said the nymph serenely.
You have awakened my senses. You have helped me rediscover the beauty of my surroundings. You have rekindled in me the joy of being alive and have banished my bitterness. I am forever in your debt. As your reward, I will show you the path to take to my sister, she whose heart was frozen and who lost her true love. In her bitterness, she wanted to take revenge on men and hid from them their last hope, the book, the treasure you seek.